Hi, everybody. This is the latest online Zoom chat for the CCM Official Supporters Club. And tonight we welcome Noah Smith, who's returned to the club. So welcome, Noah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. So the way we normally start these sessions is to let you give us a little bit of a chat or summary of your football career, including your way up the junior ranks, just so that we can get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, so originally I'm from Adelaide. I grew up playing there. I started when I was about 6, 7, like pretty much as soon as you could start playing competitive sport, and just played every day, every weekend. I played multiple sports, Aussie rules, basketball. Then when I got to like 12, 13, I started making the state teams there in Adelaide. Did that for under 13s, 14s, 15s, made it to the Adelaide United reserves team, youth team, into the Adelaide United first team. Played there for a couple of years, then actually got released by Adelaide after a bad injury, and came to the Central Coast. Was one of Monty and Serge's first ever signings, and then came here for a year. And yeah, after a year, things didn't really work out the way me and Monty wanted them to. So I left to go to Melbourne Victory, and halfway through Melbourne Victory, I had to leave to go to Brisbane. Almost got to come back to the coast halfway through the year, but had to go to Brisbane, and then finally made my way back to where I feel at home, back on the coast this year.
Okay, so you consider this home now?
Yeah, well, when I think of where I played my best football and where I've been my happiest off the field, it's definitely here on the coast. So, and I love every minute being hit back here, and yeah, it's just been awesome so far, and I'm really ready for the season. Can't come quick enough.
Yeah, well, for us fans, it can't either. But so does that mean you consider yourself to be a coastie?
I think I'm an honorary coastie. I mean, Steely and Faz, they're the true coasties to me, and Simo, of course. They're the true coasties, and I'll never be like them because they're very special people. But I like to think I'm an honorary coastie.
It is a little bit of a special thing, isn't it? Because my wife and I have lived on the coast since 1987, and sometimes in some circumstances we feel a little like we're not coasties after all that time. But anyway, it's good that you see yourself as an honorary coastie, and that you're back. So, at what age were you when you came into the professional ranks?
I think I would have been 18, 19 when I first started training full time with the A League team there in Adelaide. I didn't make my professional debut till I was just turned 20. But then I didn't play again. That was when COVID hit, and I didn't start playing properly until the 2020, 2021 season. And that's when I started getting consistent games when I was 21 or 20, sorry.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, a little bit older than some.
Hmm.
It's a nice age, I think. So, in regards to your returning to the Mariners, what differences are there between now and then? Are there any?
Um, Obviously, the main difference is the facilities. Obviously, I don't know if you guys heard, we've got a beautiful new gym there at the COE. Thanks to Rich and all the staff and everything, they've set up beautifully in between the changing rooms and the training ground. So that's awesome. But more on the club side, I think just the community has grown, the culture of the team has grown tremendously since I've been gone. The first year I was here was Monty and Serge's first year, and I could see it building and building. But being away and coming back to it now, I can see how special of a group the coaches have created, and how the culture is just one of the biggest advantages that this team has, which I feel sets them apart from a lot of the other clubs in the league. And that's one of the biggest differences I've noticed since coming back is how much that culture has grown.
It's one of the ways we have to differentiate ourselves away from the other clubs, isn't it? Because we don't have the funding that the bigger clubs have. And you may have seen some of that at your time at Victory. So we have to differentiate ourselves in some way, and I think that's an important one.
For sure, yeah, 100%. That's it's one of the things that the Mariners have to fight against the clubs with big budgets, but they've done such a good job to create a competitive advantage for themselves through the team culture and the community here on the coast, and it's one of the reasons why they've been successful these last 2, 3 years.
Going back to the facilities, though, we heard that Matty Simon even picked up the tools and did some jip rocking.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Well, Simo's definitely been around the training ground a lot, doing everything he can. You can't keep that man down. He's looking after all the boys. He's in the gym, fixing the flooring, setting up the equipment. He's awesome.
No, he certainly is. So are you able to share with us any more information about what brought you back? Apart from, it sounds like that was a desire of yours. But yeah, what were the circumstances that resulted in you re-signing with us?
There's a lot of different things. Obviously, the last few years of my career have been a crazy journey. You know, I've been moving around a lot, and one thing that I wanted to be a part of, one thing I wanted to do was be a part of what they're building here on the coast. But also, it was about the stability for me. I mean, what Monty and Serge, Simo, Rich, everyone of Sean has created is that this is a stable club. It's about the players, the people that are here, and it's not like it used to be. And that's definitely one of the reasons I wanted to come back. Just the stability, the people, and just the lifestyle as well.
Okay, that's good. Has it met your expectations so far?
For sure. That first day rocking up and seeing all the boys again, seeing Nizzy, Dan, Maxi, Steely, Stormy, all the boys that I played with when I was here last, it just was the best feeling ever. The hug Monty gave me when he saw me was amazing, and I just felt back at home straight away.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So let's talk about expectations for the season. Obviously, a big year last year. So what are your expectations, personal expectations for the team this season?
You know, it's going to be a tough year because the boys were the champions last year. We are the champions now, and we're going to have a big target on our back. Everyone wants to beat the champions, and it does come with a bit of added pressure, but that's what we live for. We always say we're the underdogs, but now we have to prove it again why we're the best team in the country. And it's going to be a tough year. Like, it's not going to be easy. No games in this league are, but we want to be right there again, winning the title again and competing for another title in Asia as well. And we believe that we can do both of them.
Okay, that's really good to hear. And yeah, can we really use the underdog title?
I mean, I think we always can, even though we're the champions, and people still underestimate this team and this club and the community that's here on the coast. And I truly believe that.
Yeah, I have some people that I used to work with at my last job who still see us that way as well. So I think it's, within the football community, it's that title is almost permanently put against the Mountains.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with that.
And so a pass mark for this year, is that a championship, a premiership, winning that AFC title, all three?
It's a tough question because obviously you don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. Our goal is to win the title, both titles and the AFC, but we've still got to take it one step at a time. You know, like I'm sure the boys, they had aspirations to win the title last year, but midway through the season they weren't thinking about that. They were just thinking about getting 3 points every week, and that's something that I think Monty and Serge drive into us, that we need to stay grounded, stay humble, and focus on each week and trust the process, and don't just expect that it's going to happen again. Because if we go out there and think that we're just going to beat everyone because the boys were the champs last year, this doesn't work like that in sport, in the league, in anything.
Yeah, it's a new season, isn't it?
Exactly right.
And you're right. A lot of discussions that were had, between us as fans and players, and with Monty and Serge was exactly what you just said. It was about the next game. It was about trying to get 3 points from that game, and that it would take care of itself at the end of the season. And
100%.
And it did.
Mm-hmm.
Is there added pressure because of that? It kind of sounded from what you just said that there is a little.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'd said before, there's definitely added pressure because you do carry the weight of being the champions of the league. And if there's a target on your back, all teams are going to want to beat you because you're the champions. But we're just focusing on ourselves. As soon as you start focusing other things, it's never going to end up well. Just we control the controllables and just take it one step at a time.
Okay. So pre-season is how many weeks in now? 4 weeks?
4 or 5.
Yep.
You lose track of time in preseason.
So from a player point of view, who's impressing you at training in preseason? And you've had some trial games, a couple of trial games, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's the first few weeks I was here, I was just trying to get to know all the new boys, relearn how to play with the old players that I played with. But some of the boys that are pressing me are Marco Tullio, as you would know, one of the best players I've ever played with, and it's only 5 weeks into preseason. I can't imagine him midway through the year. Nizzy, Maxi are always quality, and Nathan Paul, one of the young boys, centre back, came from Sydney. He's really impressed me as well, young kid. So I think he's going to have a good season as well.
Yeah, he came on in the Australia Cup game, didn't he? Or
He started.
He started. Yeah, we unfortunately I missed the majority of that game due to family commitments, but yeah, and the reports are that he played pretty well.
Yeah, he's going to be good.
Yeah. Let's go back to your football career. Who was your biggest influence in football for you to desire to be a footballer?
It's a great question. I think for me, my dad, even though he never played football, he played Aussie rules growing up, but he just was the best to me. Always just wanted the best for me. Kick the ball with me in the backyard every day, train with me, and he's just someone that I always want to make proud. And I don't know if he's a footballing influence, but just as a career influence, he's the biggest one for sure.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes it's not about teaching football; it's about teaching, the behind the scenes stuff, that building the desire and that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's important too. So let's throw in a little bit of a joke on. No, you haven't been back all that long, but who do you think's the biggest joker in the team?
Well, I think it's up for grabs now that Jace has left. I was obviously with him for a year, the first year or 6 months, whatever it was, and he's number one joker out of any player I've ever played with in my career. But since he's left, I think Nizzy's a very funny man. Steely, also very funny, and it's just everyone's funny because everyone just feels free in the change rooms. There's no one feels pressure, no one feels like they have to be someone else. So everyone's out of their shell. Everyone's funny. We always have a lot of laughs, and yeah, it's a great group.
Yeah, it sounds like you're gelling, gelling a little bit. They're both, on the pitch and off it.
Yeah, for sure. I think one thing I've learned from being away and coming back is one thing Monty and Serge created to do with the culture is they've got this core group of players that a lot of them have been with them since the academy. A few of them, like Stormy, played with Monty when he was younger. Booker, obviously, the career he has, and they drive the standards in the change room. They bring people into the team and make them feel welcome, and it's just very easy to adapt to this environment. And I think all the players you see come in, even if though it's their first year, like Nectar last year, Brian last year, they have great seasons because they're able to gel so easily.
Yeah, and that's again, it goes back to what you mentioned earlier too, the culture. It gives them that capability to maybe do better than if the culture wasn't there. The culture provides the confidence and the ability for them to be better.
For sure.
Favorite ground to play at and why?
I'll say High Marsh. Obviously, I'm an LA boy, so it's always good playing in front of my family and friends. But I do believe it's besides our stadium, it's the best stadium in Australia because just how tight it is, how compact. They always get good crowds, and the pitch is always immaculate. And hopefully we have the same success that this year that the boys did have there last year.
Yeah. I've been to Hindmarsh once back for the Olympics, and we were impressed by the ground for that reason too, how close you were to the game.
Yeah.
So I would echo that. Yeah. So I'd like to turn our attention moment to the women's game. And firstly, thoughts about the recent World Cup, what it's going to mean to football potentially, or what you would like it to mean to football moving forward.
The World Cup was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. I got to go to 3 games myself. Luckily, it was the atmosphere, the what it felt like to be at those games was nothing like I'd experienced before, and I think it just shows what this country can be with football. We have the support, we have the population to be a massive football country, and I just hope that what this World Cup has started can just continue on for the next 5, 10, 15 years, because it's truly amazing what the Matildas girls did to inspire the whole nation. It's unbelievable, and just hope it continues on.
Yeah, there were people that I know who were not football supporters who very, very rarely spoke about football, who leading into and during that whole campaign, you'd meet for a drink and that's all they wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm. It transcended the country, didn't it? Everybody was talking about the Matildas, about our game, about just the world. The world was talking about our country and everything. So it was just the best thing that could have happened to football in this country, I believe.
Do you think we're in for a chance to host the rumored bid for the 2034 men's?
It's tough, obviously. With the men coming, it would be a massive, massive thing. But who knows? Really, well, it was in Qatar, so why not bring it here? They had it in December in Qatar, so mid of the season there. So I'm sure we can have it sometime around there here. I mean, it'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, it absolutely would, or even in a little bit cooler time of the year in September, October,
Mm-hmm.
or March, April. It would have a huge impact on our own seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if that would happen. Sorry, going back to the women's game. So obviously this is an important year for the Mariners with our first season in the Liberty A League. Have you got to spend any time with the girls either on a training pitch or just getting to know each other, to support each other?
I actually got to meet Emily, the coach, and a few of the players the other day. They were up at our facility doing some testing and stuff. So I got to meet them, have a chat with a few of the coaches, and that was good just to meet them and talk to them about what they're expecting for their seasons and everything. But we haven't had to share any training sessions yet or anything. But I'm sure once their season kicks off, all our boys will be getting around them, going to their games and supporting them, just like I know they'll support us.
Yeah, because they're only about 5 weeks away from their season starting.
Yeah, not long now.
Which means you guys are only a week later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to come really quickly. Are you impressed with? We actually did this sort of thing with Emily 2-3 weeks ago, and she seemed to talk very well, and she seems to know what she's about. Did you get the same feel?
For sure. And then one thing I've learned is that everything this club does lately, they've done it properly. They'll always hire the best people, the best coaches. And so I have no doubt that Emily's going to do an amazing job with that team and really get the women's team off the ground and have an amazing season.
Now you don't have a connection with Leeds, do you? Because it seems like everybody who's coming to the club lately has had some connection back to Leeds.
No, I don't. I wish I did. Maybe in the future I'll get a move there, but who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Game day superstitions. Do you have any?
I actually don't. I used to have a few, but I learned that with travel and everything, it's hard to maintain them. And I used to be like, if one of them doesn't work, then I'll be like thinking about, stressing about everything. So I've just tried to keep it nice and calm. I'll try and eat the same things, try and have a nap, but that's about it. Nothing too crazy. The only superstition I have is left shoe before right shoe every single time.
Really?
I don't know why. I started doing it when I was a kid, and I've never ever stopped.
I think if I remember correctly, Emily had the same superstition, but I think it was right foot before the left.
Maybe it's a very common one then.
Yeah. Matt Simon has a theory too
What's his?
about superstitions, that they're a reason for failure,
Hmm.
for accepting failure. Oh, well, that's superstition. I didn't get to do it today and we lost.
Yeah, exactly right.
Something like that. So
Well, that's what I mean when I like if I didn't do it, then you're thinking about why is this why I'm not playing well in that. So I just try and chill out and keep everything pretty calm and try and keep it similar to what I did last week, but nothing too crazy.
I've skipped a question and I'll go back to it now. So going back to football, the future. Do you think that football will be part of your longer term future? Coaching, administration, something like that?
Yeah, I definitely believe, definitely think I want to be a coach when I'm older. It's just I've become fascinated with it. I've had quite a few different coaches, and I've tried to learn a little bit of all of them. And I'm starting to formulate how I think I'd be a coach. But who knows if that will happen when I just retire, when I'm 50? Who knows? I just want to take it. I was just trying to live in the moment now and enjoy my playing career as much as I can because who knows when it's going to end. Some only play this game for 3, 4 years. Some like Simo Vuka have 15, 20 year careers. So no one knows what's around the corner. And I'm just trying to enjoy every moment of it now. And maybe I'll focus on that coaching stuff a bit down the line.
Yeah. Yeah. No, good thought. So kind of in line with that, the reason I went back to that is that the next question is, if you weren't playing football, what would you do to be earning a living? Or what do you think you might be doing to earn a living?
I think my dad would like me to say work for him, but I don't think I'd be doing that. I was studying corporate finance at uni, so I probably would have continued with that and got a job in the finance or something like that. But I don't know. Sometimes I'd like to think I just want to travel around the world. My sister lives in London, go live with her, maybe work in a cafe or a pub or something. But yeah, I don't really know. I just try and enjoy playing football as much as I can because, like I said, who knows when this will end.
Yeah. Do you want to share with us what your dad does?
He's a property valuer. Nothing
Oh,
too
is
exciting.
Yeah. Also, yeah, so that probably the next part. Normally in that question, we ask what teammates would you like have working with you in doing that? So, but yeah, that's maybe a little out of context now.
Nah, there's still a few boys that I would always want by my side. I mean, Faz, he'd just be the best one because he wouldn't complain, gets the job done every week, and just be there next year. Always can trust him, can't you?
Yeah, there was a couple of times, there were a couple of games when he got a little agitated on the field, and we kind of, some of us fans thought, well, that's a little unusual for him. It's like that really must have got under his skin, but anyway, yeah. Unusual requests from fans. Ever had any that you can share? Remembering this is going up on YouTube.
Nah, there's never been any real crazy ones. I mean, kids always ask for your shin pads and boots and stuff like that to sign forearm, sign heads and stuff like that. But there's never been anything too crazy. I mean, we're not like superstars. So
All right. I'm just putting a question in the chat to see if anybody else has got any others. There are a couple there. So coming from Adelaide, Crows or Port Adelaide?
it's a funny question actually. I'm actually a St Kilda fan,
Really?
which is interesting. My dad and my family is massive Crows fans, but when I was a kid, I just loved the song "Oh When the Saints." So when I
Right.
started doing Oz kick when I was like 8, 9, I just got a Saints jersey and I stuck with them ever since. Been with them all the years through the lost grand finals, through the shit times, and yeah, I just love them.
Yeah, sometimes fans are dedicated, aren't they?
Hmm.
When it comes to AFL, I'm North Melbourne, and that started when I was in my teens. So,
Hmm.
and when Sydney moved up, couldn't shift my allegiance.
Exactly.
So yeah, so can I understand there? The other question that Joe's put up is Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi every single day of the week. Not even a second thought.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. I think when I was growing up, he's left-footed. Everyone wanted to be like, well, I wanted to be like him. Everyone did, I guess. And I just loved the way Barcelona played, and he was the star. So I just gravitated towards him and stuck with him ever since. And I believe he's the best player to ever play football.
I saw some of the highlights earlier today of his game with Miami, isn't it, against LAFC? I don't know if you've seen it from the game over, but yeah, amazing what he does with the ball.
Crazy.
And it's not just that he's what he does as well. It's about what he creates. So it's a really important part of his role in a team. We do have another question. EPL team, do you follow one?
Liverpool. That's another team that I had when I was a kid, and I've stuck with them ever since.
Okay. And is there a reason for that? Another family member or?
Nah, I just when I was a kid, I think my uncle might have been a Liverpool fan, and it's just something as silly as that, and just showed me a game one day or something, and then they just become your team. I guess that's just how it happens sometimes.
Right. Yeah. We've gotten to the end of. I've got no other questions on my list, and I've got no others from the online chat. If we just pause for a second in case anybody's got them. But we're pretty much at the end of it.
Awesome.
So we would like to thank you for your time tonight. And we're really wishing and hoping for the best, and that you're going to enjoy your time, and it's going to be another successful season, because as fans we're really excited, which I expect you are, about the Asian competition. It's great to have that here again. So sorry, I've just got one handed to me out of. Well, that was a question I skipped. Who would be your best or worst roommate when you're traveling?
Oh, best roommate. I had Faz when I was here last time, and he was good. Like, because as I said before, he's quiet, low maintenance, doesn't cause a fuss or anything. I feel all the boys would be good. Hawley, hilarious, would just laugh the whole time. I don't think there'd be any bad roommates. Maybe Dylan Wenzel Halls, because he doesn't shut up, would be a bad one. Yeah, nah, all the boys would be sweet, and I'm sure I'd have fun with all of them.
All right. Well, again, we appreciate your time, and we wish you all the success for this season. We'll certainly see you at the games during the course of the season, and some of the away ones as well. But again, yeah, thank you, and all the best.
No worries at all. Thank you for having me, and I'll see you all the games this year.
All right. Thanks, Noah.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
If anybody's still online, I'll send through the command to unmute.
Stop recording.
Ask all to unmute. So you should be able to unmute your microphones right now, and I'm going to stop recording.